Hello, YouTubers and my fellow Americans. You know, this election cycle here in America has been a wild, crazy ride. Matter of fact, I would call it a nightmare roller coaster ride. I'm looking for the exit. Anybody know where it is? Can you point me in the right direction? Of course, if Hillary Clinton wins, it'll be a nightmare roller coaster straight to hell, but I digress. Can't really stand that woman. She's not qualified or honest enough to be the president of the United States, but she'll probably be the president. I'll go ahead and call it right now. If she wins, she'll get a second term as well. Another thing I didn't know, and I don't think that this should be, I think we should fight against this kind of thing, but according to what I've heard, that if this investigation into all these emails goes past the election and Hillary does win, she can pardon herself. I didn't even know that. I knew that a president can pardon people, but not her own self kind of thing. I think that needs to be taken out. I don't think anybody should be able to. It would be like if I raped somebody and said I pardon myself. I'm just an average citizen. I don't think anybody should be able to do that. And I damn sure don't think the president should be able to do it. But whatever. Now, as far as this James Comey versus Hillary Clinton thing and all these 650,000 emails, a lot of people think maybe James Comey is flipping on Hillary Clinton, but I'm not so sure. I got a sneaking suspicion he's still in her back pocket. He's not trying to save his own skin. He's not trying to save the face of the FBI's department and all. I think that this is to give that lasting impression just before you go vote. So if these emails start coming out 2 days, maybe 1 day before the election, and it's like, Hillary's yoga class emails that she talked about early in this whole thing about all of her emails and the server and all that stuff, and it'll be like, these are not the emails you're looking for. Move along, and that's the last thing you'll hear about her just before you go to the voting booth. So you'll think to yourself, okay, Donald Trump has these 11, maybe 11 plus women that have come out the woodwork. You have the videotape with Billy Bush, and these women have come out saying that Donald Trump groped them or he's been derogatory towards them or something like that. And then you have Hillary Clinton, which the government has been trying to make something stick to this woman for a while now. They can't make anything stick, and she must be honest. She must be pure. She's as honest as Jesus Christ. So there you go. I'm pulling the lever for Hillary. Plus it could be, well, these men are trying to hold Hillary back from being the most powerful woman in America, breaking that glass ceiling. How dare they do that? I'm pulling the lever for Hillary. I just think that might be the ploy. So if this stuff starts getting released 2, maybe 1 day before the election, I think something's up. And some of these Democrats who seem to be distancing themselves from, are they really doing it, or is it just words? That could also be part of the ploy. And I just don't think that anything's going to stick to this woman. You could cover this woman with motor oil and none of it would stick. It wouldn't even stain her clothes. That's how bad this is. Just like Obama, Hillary Clinton has the media behind her. She has the big bankers behind her. That's why Donald Trump can't catch a break. And I just don't put it past her campaign to still be in ownership of James Comey and his decisions. Now, a lot of people just don't understand this, but Hillary Clinton has at least 2 layers of protection that are almost impervious to any kind of damage. Number one, she's a woman. If you go after a woman, you're a sexist. So that's a no-no. You can't do that. Number 2, I'll give you an example of how a lot of times these SJWs or feminists tend to think, and a victim cannot harm anyone with their actions or inactions. So if like Hillary in the Benghazi, Libya situation, she did not send extra troops to guard that embassy, so those people there in Libya got killed. So she doesn't take any responsibility, and at this point, what difference does it make kind of situation? So you have a situation like this. You have a married couple, you have a husband and a wife, and they have some kids. The wife is cheating on the husband catches her, he divorces her because of this. She gets custody of the kids, he has to pay child support and alimony, and she has a new boyfriend. If you ask that woman, why did you cheat on your husband and ruin that relationship? She'll say, well, my husband wasn't spending enough time with me, so I cheated on him. So she still turns around and blames the husband. You see how this works. It's complete idiocy. But this is what it passes for logic these days. Then you have the fact that she's a Democrat. I haven't seen many Democrats ever get in any trouble. They could slit somebody's throat on national TV, catch it from all kind of different angles, and they'll still be able to run for public office down the road. It's like, I've never seen anything like this. I feel like I'm living in a bizarro world or something sometimes when I look at this crap. So I was listening to Alan Combs' radio show last year sometime, and I can't really stand listening to him or his callers because I'll start arguing with the radio. I mean, that's just the way I am. When I start hearing stupid logic, I start, mouthing off, and it's as though Alan Combs and his callers can actually hear me talking to the radio. It's kind of stupid, but it just infuriates me so much when I hear it that I had my finger on the power button on the radio, and I was about to turn it off when a caller had just called in, and he said, Alan, let me ask you something. How come, if a Republican and a Democrat do the same crime, how come the Republican tends to get harassed or gets looked at more harshly than the Democrat who breaks the same rule? And Alan gave some illogical logic out there, and he did not disappoint me. He said that Republicans, or the religious right, they tend to stand next to that Bible and praise that Bible and say that they're living in the steps of Jesus and all. And then when they break a rule, they grope somebody, they are derogatory towards women or whatever, they get looked at, I guess, by society more harshly than the Democrat. It should be the same. I mean, our laws are built around the Ten Commandments, and this whole thing about separation of church and state is stupid anyway. It's not to keep religion out of the schools and out of the government. It's to keep the government out of the churches. That's what it's for. But a lot of people don't even know that. And I think it would be good for our congressmen and the president and even the Supreme Court justices to have to look at the Ten Commandments before they make any verdict or before they even do anything at their job that day. 20, 30 minutes is guaranteed towards looking at the Ten Commandments before they even pick up their pen to do anything. That's what it should be. But unfortunately, separation of church and state, separation of church and state, stupid. But anyway, I digress. So Democrats, what they tend to do is they tend to detach themselves from the Bible. They may read it, they may believe in it, but they make up their own rules in their own mind, which is a complete illusion. And when they break a rule, when they rape somebody or they kill somebody or whatever, they're not really breaking God's rule. They're just not breaking their own. So if I believe that rape is not a crime in my own mind, then I should be able to do it when I want to, right? That's the way the Democrats tend to work. And people tend to look at it and say, yeah, that's the way it is. But Republicans, they have to abide by those. It's complete lunacy. And like I said, Alan Combs did not disappoint me with his little response. Because if you're breaking the law, I don't care if it's in the Bible or not. Like I said, the Ten Commandments and our laws go hand in hand. So evidently you're breaking the biblical rules too. You should be judged the same. You think God's going to be any different, judge you differently? Of course, there's some people out there that don't believe in God, but that's them. But anyway, I don't know if Trump's going to win. I hope he does. And as a matter of fact, for those of you out there that are going to vote for Trump, wear red, like a lot of people are saying. Pay attention to the voting machine. Record yourself with your cell phone or whatever as you're making the vote. If it flips you to voting for Hillary, demand a paper ballot, because they're supposed to have them. On top of this, I'd suggest you do this too. Put a piece of duct tape over your mouth as you go to vote and wear it while you're voting, because you know if Hillary wins, our amendments are going to be gone. You're not going to have any more liberties. It won't be an overnight process, but we've had this death by 1,000 cuts for a long time now, and they're constantly under attack every day. They've been under attack for, I'd say, a good probably 20 years now. Death by 1,000 cuts, people. Remember that. But I just don't know if they're going to get anything to stick to Hillary. I really don't. I don't want to sound like a defeatist here, and I don't want to sway anybody from not voting for Trump. If you're going to vote, you've already made up your daggone mind. Do it. Just please don't vote for Hillary. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it. I hope Trump wins, because we're done if Hillary wins. And here's the hoping. Peace.